Hey guys, just want to touch on this topic very quickly one more time. So controlling the volume of your favorite 100 watt head. And I'm saying that because, not every amp has a good master volume. And even if it does have a good master volume, maybe you're not getting the most out of the amp. Maybe the amp likes to be cranked a little bit, right? So with the EVH 5150 EL34, that amp doesn't really sound good as far as I'm concerned until it's opened up a bit. So you can play it at low volume, but you're really not getting the best tone out of it. So there's a number of options. I mean, there's almost so many options at this point. So it's just really up to you to figure out what you need. But I think the confusing thing about it is that, I talk about the surreactive load. Surreactive load takes the power of your amp and turns it into a line level signal. And you can basically send that line level signal into a speaker simulator, whether it's an analog or digital box, or you can send that raw signal into your computer's interface and use software plugins and IRs for speakers, right? So this is a non-powered solution. You can put the reactive load through a cabinet, but it will have no volume attenuation at all, right? So that's it. So what I usually do for kind of like the ultimate practice rig is I'll take the speaker box and put it through a monitor like this. And what I failed to mention before is that, using the DI level output, it's like the ultimate master volume. The amp is completely raging inside and you're basically controlling the volume here. Now, obviously you can control the volume on the monitor level as well. So, you can just choose which one you want to do. And what I do here is I usually put effects either somewhere within the line level signal. Sometimes between this and this, it really doesn't really matter to me. So no, you can't use this to attenuate an amp through a regular 412. Okay. So then you have something like this, the Frye Power Station. So this goes a little bit further in that it has a built-in power amp. So it's kind of like the Sur reactive load with a power amp, and goes even further because it has a effects loop, which is really amazing. And you can use, different ohms coming in and out of the device. So this is pretty sick. So I guess the question becomes, why would I get this if this is available? Which one's better? And the funny thing about it is that I've had such good results with the Sur, and I've never needed not to use it. So what I do is when I'm trying to attenuate through a real cabinet, I use the Frye. And when I'm recording, I use the Sur. I haven't compared them for, just the reactive load part. I know Pete Thorne has, and I think they were pretty close. So I have high, confidence that this probably sounds really good recorded. But as I said, I haven't used it. This is also awesome because it has the ability to add an effects loop to an amp that does not have one, which is huge. I think, so the Sur SL68 doesn't have one. A lot of vintage amps don't have one. So it's really, really quite cool. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention is that you can simply put this direct signal into a power amp if you have a cheap power amp, and you can do the same exact thing. There's just a couple of moving parts there, but you can achieve the same exact result. And I think this is like 400, and I think this is about 700 now. I think V2. So if you think about it, it's really, it evens out the same price if you get like a cheap power amp for 250 and you buy this for 400. Maybe you already have this and you don't want to go out and buy a Frye, but you can get a cheap power amp. So there's a lot of options, but it's really, really powerful. And to control the volume from the Frye, you just do this, obviously the volume here. Apparently keeping these at 0 gets rid of all the filtering. So I hope that explains what's going on here. You can't use the Sur to attenuate through a real cabinet. And for me, this gives me every possible option. What I usually do is I set this up for recording, and then I set this up in like the amp area. So if I'm using like Phil X amp or SL68, it's ready to go. All right, talk to you soon.